This video is sponsored by PotownStore.com, the best place to get yourself some TCGO code cards. Looking for that last card to complete your online deck or just to get the latest booster packs in town, they literally have everything, even the Fusion Strike stuff. So be sure to head over to the website PotownStore.com and use that coupon code ZapDoesTCG for 5% off. Also, head over to cardsmarket.com if you're a European player. This website is fantastic. You can buy and sell cards to people all across Europe, and I personally use it every single day to get rid of cards that I don't need to buy new ones. Use the referral name ZapDoesTCG and you're helping out the channel tremendously. Last but certainly not least is yourplaymat.com. This website is fantastic when you create your own unique custom playmat. They ship worldwide, and of course right now you can get 10% off by clicking the link down below. So start creating your own unique custom playmat for the new season. So thanks for sticking with the commercials. Let's get this video on the roll. Peace. What's up YouTube, it's ZapDoesTCG here and welcome back to our TCG deck profile video on my channel. On this channel you get daily Pokemon TCG content, so be sure you are subscribed so you don't ever miss a single upload. Today we're gonna actually talk about a budget deck, that's right. We've talked about some very expensive decks in the format with Charizard V-Star and Arceus V-Star. Today it's time to see an upgraded version of Malamar. Rapid Strike Malamar will be so much better with Brilliant Stars just because we get the new Manaphy, and there's also a new supporter I really want to be taking a look at in the Malamar deck. Cards that I actually was thinking about adding into this list is Bibarel. I tested it out, but it's just better with just Cinccino and Octillery. But if you don't know what Malamar is, you're going to be seeing that all in today's video. So hopefully you guys will appreciate it. And yeah, let's just get into this deck profile straight from the get-go. So we have 4 copies of the Malamar. Malamar is a very interesting card, being able to use the Rapid Strike Tentacles attack for only 1 Psychic Energy. You could use Spiral Energy or a basic Psychic Energy to utilize it, and it's going to be fantastic because you're slapping 40 damage times the number of Rapid Strike cards you're willing to reveal from the hand to then shuffle back into the deck. That could be endless damage output. If you have 8 of these cards, you're going to be able to slap a whopping amount of damage, 320 damage, if you reveal 8 Rapid Strike cards. How cool is that? You're going to be able to one-hit KO VMAXs, you're going to be able to one-hit KO V-Stars. It's not going to be a problem for Malamar because Malamar is just super strong. So yeah, that's all about Malamar. You also are a Psychic type, so you do hit weakness against specific Pokemon out there. For instance, Rapid Strike Urshifu VMAX, yeah, the Single Strike Urshifu VMAX. And the cool thing is that now you can actually have bench protection, so you have favorable matchups against a lot of cards in the format, and this is the best one-price attacking deck in the game right now. So and also it is very budget friendly. You don't need very fancy Inteleon engines. You will also not need any V Pokemon, no Crobats, no nada. It's gonna be fantastic. Only one price Pokemon in here. Then yeah, for the basic Pokemon you also need 4 copies of Inkay. You definitely should play the Inkay with Rapid Strike emblem onto the card, otherwise it's not going to be working out this deck. So you need a lot of Rapid Strike cards in your deck. And the cool thing is with the Rapid Strike Tentacles, you're going to be able to reveal Pokemon as well as stadiums, as well as supporters, everything that has the emblem Rapid Strike on the card, which is cool. So 4 copies of Inkay to follow up on top of those, yeah, very cool Malamars. Moving forward is going to be the main heart and soul of the deck is going to be Octillery. Octillery provides us with some unique consistency in the form of Rapid Strike Search. Once during our turn, you can search your deck for a Rapid Strike card, reveal it to the opponent and put it into your hand. You can only use it once. It's limited with only one, so don't get out like 3 Octilleries on your bench. That's not going to be working out. You just need 1 in play, and the reason why we're playing so many is that we can definitely find this on the second turn, because this can search out Korinas, and the Korinas will actually draw yourself a reasonable hand, which is actually something you want to do. Also, if you whiff out on, let's say, a Malamar or an Inkay to have a couple of them up on board, you can use Rapid Strike Search for whatever you want, whether it's a Spiral Energy, whether it's an Inkay, whether it's the Malamar or Korina's Focus. There's so many things you can find with Octillery. I'm a huge fan. So 4 copies in here, so pretty self-explanatory, right? There's a lot of 4-offs in this list, as you soon will learn, which makes it easy for the deck profile, right? 4, 4, 4, lots of 4-offs is good. Moving forward, there's gonna be, yeah, you guessed it, 4 copies of Remoraid. Also a Rapid Strike card. You're never going to be attacking with this fella, but it is in here to, of course, evolve into that beautiful Rapid Strike Search Octillery. So 4 copies of that. Then there is a 3-4 line of Mincino. Let's just talk about Cinccino, for instance. Yeah, there's Cinccino here. This is the one from Sword and Shield with Make Do. Discard 1 card from the hand in order to draw 2 cards. This is good because you can up your hand. Let's say you use Korina's Focus to draw into until you have 6 cards in hand. On top of that, you can use Make Do, and if you have 2 of them out, you can use Make Do. If you have 3 of them out, you can use Make Do to just make sure your hand size is ridiculously high, which will mean that you're going to be able to one-hit KO with the Rapid Strike Malamar way easier than ever before. So that's why they are not Rapid Strike cards. So I'm actually going for a 4-3 line of the Cinccino, and the cool thing you should note here is that we have a new Mincino, and this Mincino is the one you want to be utilizing. There's also the one with 70 HP, which you might think about adding, maybe a split line, but I'm a huge fan. Even though it only has 60 HP and is a little bit more fragile to stuff like quick shooting, you're going to be able to utilize the attack Call for Family, which allows you to actually get 2 basic Pokemon from the deck instantly onto your bench. You can use this with a basic Psychic Energy. Spiral Energy will not work on Mincino, but you should remember that you're running 4 copies of Fog Crystal to find basic energy, so if you start with Mincino, it's never a bad thing, which now helps out the deck quite significantly, I would say. So 4 copies of the Mincino, and then to follow up, on top is a new card again. It is Manaphy. This Manaphy with Water Veil, actually Bench Barrier, will allow you to protect your bench from attacks from your opponent's Pokemon. That means attacks like the Max Thunder Rumble from Jolteon, G-Max Rapid Flow from Urshifu, Rapid Strike Urshifu VMAX. We're going to be protecting your bench, and this is the saving grace for this deck. In the past, this deck was put in check with, of course, all these snipe decks like Rapid Strike Urshifu and Jolteon just going rampant and just knocking out 2 Incases simultaneously, and you're never getting out back in the game because they take prize cards so quickly. Now we have Manaphy, searchable with Lava Ball, searchable, you can find it with Great Ball as well, but you can also get it back with Rescue Carrier, and you can put it in the deck time and time again with Ordinary Rod as well, so the Manaphy will save the deck entirely. Okay. Moving forward, we're going to be talking about the supporters here. So hopefully you guys will appreciate a budget deck. We've talked about like very expensive deck in the Brilliant Stars format, but this is probably one of my favorite decks because it resembles me so much of Blacephalon of Unbroken Bonds. So we have 4 copies of Korina's Focus. Korina's Focus is a Rapid Strike card, which means you can also reveal it and shuffle it back into your deck with the Rapid Strike Tentacles. There is the draw cards until you have 6 in hand, which is actually very good because every single turn, you're gonna be, if you're attacking, you're gonna be emptying your hand quite significantly. Then Korina can draw yourself back up, and the Cinccinos with Make Do can get you over the edge. The cool thing is that this card is searchable with Octillery with the Rapid Strike Search. That means that you're gonna be able to find Korina's Focus even if you get Marnit and you have a very bad hand. You can use Octillery to find yourself the Korina. So 4 copies of that. So very self-explanatory, this deck. Moving forward, there's going to be 2 copies of Professor's Research. I'm still a huge fan of the Research, even though you discard some of your resources. In my personal Malamar list, I'm playing 2 Ordinary Rod and a Rescue Carrier on top of it. So this is very great in the early phase of the game or just in the late game to just push through until you have enough cards in hand to one-hit KO a VMAX or a V-Star. So 2 copies of the Research. As a little side note, there's no Boss's Orders in here. The only supporters you have is supporters that draw cards, because people will Marnie you, people will make yourself utilize a lot of resources to one-hit KO them, so you will need a lot of your supporters to draw. You might even squeeze in 1 copy of Boss's Orders. That would actually not be bad, but I personally didn't do it because I just want to knock out everything in the active. And if you're going with prize trade, going back and forth and just taking a 1 prizer, it's okay, because then at one point they will come with multiple prize Pokemon, aka a V Pokemon, V-Star or VMAX. It is inevitable in this format unless a lot of 1 prize decks are out there. Moving forward is the new card, Cynthia's Aspiration. Cynthia's Aspiration allows you to draw cards until you have 5 cards in hand. But if you got knocked out during your opponent's last turn by an attack from the opponent, you're going to be able to draw cards until you have 8 cards in the hand instead. This gets you huge boost after you get a KO. Let's say Malamar gets KO'd and you just use Rapid Strike Tentacles for just let's say 5 cards to knock out a basic V Pokemon. Boom, you're only having 1 card in hand, and your Malamar is now knocked out. You can draw 7 cards with this without having to discard anything. So I'm a huge fan of the Cynthia's Aspiration. So we're going to be running 2 copies of that in here. And then there's also still the 1 copy of the Bruno here. Bruno was in place of the Aspiration of Cynthia, but I actually downgraded the Brunos to Cynthia's just because This effect is not good in the early phase of the game. Let me just state that clear. That allows you to shuffle your hand to your deck and draw 4 cards. But if your opponent knocked you out during their last turn, you're going to be able to draw cards until you have 7. So shuffle hand and deck, draw 7. So there's still 1 copy in here. This single strike card will also allow you to utilize Tower of Darkness in some very strange situations if you're up against that. I don't know if you're a bigger fan of Bruno or the Cynthia Aspiration, but I think this is a nice supporter lineup. You have access to 9 draw supporters in general, so that should be enough. And the reason why we have like a little bit more draw support in here is that in the early phases, it's very important to establish your board position. You want to have Inkay, Remoraid, and a bunch of Minccinos. That's what it is. Now let's talk about the item cards, shall we? There's going to be 4 copies of Lava Ball in here. Very nice and self-explanatory. There is going to be cases where you can use Lava Ball for Cinccino as well. Other than that, you can search out your Manaphy. You can search out Mincino, Cinccino, Remoraid, Inkay. Most of the time, any of your basic Pokemon you're going to be able to fetch with Lava Ball, and that's also the reason why we're not playing Quick Ball or Ultra Ball in here. Otherwise, you're just emptying your own hand, and that's something you don't want to be doing because you want to be drawing a whole heap of cards and stick them in hand to just blow up opponents with Rapid Strike Tentacles. 4 copies of Great Ball. Allows you to dig deeper. You have a lot of 4/4, a lot of 4 lines in here for Inkays, for Malamar, for Octillery, for Remoraid, for Mincino. So Great Ball will fetch out one of these Pokemon in the early phase of the game without having you needing to discard a card from hand. 4 copies of Fog Crystal allows you to find a basic Psychic Energy, which could be utilized to attack with the Mincino to use Call for Family, or can also find yourself Inkay or just the energy to attack with Rapid Strike Malamar. 4 copies of Evolution Essence. As mentioned, you want to be playing insta-playable cards that don't discard cards from hand. And Evolution Essence will find yourself. This can also be damage modification, by the way. In the late game, if you already have your setup, you don't need any evolution Pokemon, you can just fetch out another Octillery to just utilize it for damage output. These are insta-playable cards that you can all play down, and I actually recommend everybody playing all these cards instantly. So in the late game, your deck is only filled with Rapid Strike cards, which is insanity. Then for recovery, there's 2 copies of Ordinary Rod, allowing you to fetch back some of your resources. You can get 2 Pokemon and 2 basic energies back, which means there's only like 2 psychic energies in this list, which will come to very shortly. But you'll allow them with Ordinary Rod to actually get these 2 psychic energies back in deck, use another Ordinary Rod, get them back in deck. So technically you have enough energies to last yourself through the game, but also having enough Malamar lines to help you throughout the game because it's your only attacker. So with 2 Ordinary Rod, you're going to be able to get back Inkay, Malamar, Energy, Inkay, Malamar, Energy. So that means you have 6 Malamars in total to just win the game. Then there's a Rescue Carrier. This Rescue Carrier is very interesting because you're going to be able to get yourself 2 Pokemon with 90 HP or less back in the hand instantly. This is a game-changing scenario card in the late game because you can get back lost Inkays or lost Remoraids, and that's going to be helping you out with additional damage output. And the same thing for Scoop Up Net. Scoop Up Net is in here. You might say, why are we running Scoop Up Net and why are we only running 1 Tower of Waters? We're going to be getting to that very shortly, but the Scoop Up Net allows you in the late game to just fetch up the Octillery, and then you instantly have 2 more Rapid Strike cards in your hand. The opponent might be surprised, he's not going to ever get there, but you just use Cynthia's Aspiration, draw so many cards, make do, draw more cards, use Rapid Strike search with Octillery to get more cards, Scoop Up Net the entire Octillery engine to get 2 more Rapid Strike cards in hand, and then BAM! You get an insanely crazy cool KO, but also could get yourself out of nasty situations. Scoop Up Net allows you, if you're sometimes stuck with Octillery or stuck with Cinccino, to get it back in hand. So that's also cool. Also, I've utilized this in some testing if I was up against Galarian Weezing. Yeah, from all things, that's probably the most difficult matchup for this deck. But if you're up against that, if you're poisoned, you're actually surviving. You can attack, you're poisoned, the opponent, you can just attack again, and then at one point you can just scoop him in hand, and which could also help out. Then there's the only stadium in here is the Tower of Waters. I was a huge fan of adding in like 2 copies of Tower of Waters, but I had to make room for the Manaphy somewhere, so that's what happened here. So only 1 copy in here, but we do have Scoop Up Net, so we have 2 ways to get ourselves out of the active position. Also, you can manually retreat your Cinccino, and sometimes if Octillery is stuck, you can just say like, I'm not going to be playing any more cards, and if you have more cards left in your deck than the opponent, you're actually going to be winning, because at one point they will need to attack the Octillery to knock it out. They're not going to be trapping it forever if they have less cards than yourself. Okay, moving forward, there is going to be the energy lineup. There's 2 psychic energies in here. And these psychic energies are going to be very crucial because you can fetch them with Fog Crystal, you can utilize them with Mincino, you can utilize it to retreat Cinccino, and yeah, there's the ways you can shuffle them back with Ordinary Rod. Also helps against the Duraludon, by the way, because the rest of the energies are the Rapid Strike Spiral energies, and these Spiral energies provide any type of energies at the same time, so basically you can attack with like Remoraid and Octillery, but they do so little damage that you're never going to be doing it, and their attack cost is ridiculous. The reason why we're running this is just because it helps out with the numbers of your Rapid Strike count in your deck. And yeah, you can use Malamar, you can utilize this energy for it, and if the rest of the energies are still left in the deck, it's going to be fantastic. So yeah, that's it for the deck. Hopefully you guys enjoyed a very unique budget deck, because this is very cheap to make it. I think it's about like $30 or something. Very low maintenance as well. Not a lot of huge changes coming for this deck. The cards I should take a note at is Cynthia's Aspiration, Manaphy, and of course the Minccinos over there. So also with the bench blocker, this deck is getting increased in the tier list. Be sure to check out our tier list that we made on Monday. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to let me know by rocking the hell out of the like button. It helps out so much, and it only takes one tiny second of your time, so I would definitely appreciate it if you would do so. If you have any suggestions for upcoming deck profiles, leave them down in the comments below, and I'll definitely take a look at it. Be sure to check out our sponsors as well. PokemonStore.com, the best place for TCGO code cards. You can of course utilize the coupon code ZapdosTCG for a whopping 5% of your order. If you are in dire need of physical cards, go check out Cards Market. If you're a European player, you can buy and sell cards to people all across Europe. Don't forget to use the referral name ZapdosTCG. Last but not least, yourplaymat.com. Want to have a unique custom playmat like myself? Go head over to the Your Playmat website. Click the link down below and you can get 10% off your order. They ship worldwide, so start designing your favorite wallpaper. Anyhow, have yourself a fantastic rest of your day. I'll see you guys tomorrow for more Pokemon TCG epicness. I'm out. Peace.